so hard. Connection to VRCHAT timed out. Verify connection and try again. Well, that concludes it. I need a new laptop. Please help me fund this new laptop. Dear God. Alright. Since we're not done with today's goal, we're gonna try again. The goal today, again, is to socialize. Find some people to converse with. Let me see if I can minimize the load on this. Wonder if I do.
What the okay.
Okay, we're back.
I'm sorry.
Malice would like to invite
I already got
Think brain less.
or someone with that.
friend. Alright, our first friend.
Fuck, I actually did get finesse.
Not right now.
How does shit work?
I have
There
before,
you go.
yeah.
Alright,
That's a guess.
let's play
It's
this
guess
because it's
because I
like
got fucking
a
Netflix.
minimum 30 minutes
Alright.
out. This nigga's probably not gonna
Bro,
go
you
How
know
on.
what
do I adjust my settings so I don't disconnect?
I and E are still in the wrong spot.
No. You don't know
Whoa.
my so you don't know why you're
It feels like someone got shot.
So
Must be in video
yeah,
somewhere. Alright, let me apologize in advance for the graphics.
I am
Yeah.
You
okay.
blink, I blink.
Oh, what am I doing? Not controls.
E.
Video.
You said E.
Search all settings.
Do you
Oh,
I
blink?
it's
can't
up
be
there, I
anything.
think. Oh my god, so laggy.
Really? Oh yeah, because race. Sorry, I wrote it off.
You wrote it like 50 years
So
ago.
it's
It's
like
okay.
I was assuming it was.
I think he show
Would
you
full
that.
screen help, actually? Let me try.
Yeah, I got you.
I might
It's the
be.
same
Oh no.
thing as my name.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I have
Why
everything
would
as
you
my
be
name pretty much. Is it Sammy OY dot
only intellectuals would understand. It's okay.
Alright. Let's try this. We're here not for the graphics, but for the
Do
conversation,
you?
alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is
It's
much
like
better.
a thing you do with your name.
Should've done that from the beginning. Imagine if I
Yeah.
also put in non-full screen mode. I think that would
on
work.
my phone?
Oh, the
Wait, your
experience would be
name
atrocious
as
then.
in
Okay.
intellectuals?
Well,
Oh
oh
my
my god,
god.
still laggy.
Bro, I have good negotiation skills. There is no way I fucking actually just I got convinced.
There's an
Like this
enemy?
nigga's like illiterate.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Named your name.
Why are you so sad?
Yeah.
Like this.
I have a feeling it's a romance one. I just have a
It
feeling
Not
is.
based
gonna
off of
type
the
that.
name.
What the fuck?
Okay. I get it
Oh
now.
my god, it's so tiny,
It
I'm
is
so
a
sorry.
romantic fantasy film.
Let me see if I can adjust the
Every
stream
time
instead.
romance one. I just have a
I
feeling
got
based off
convinced.
of the name.
Like this nigga's like
So
illiterate.
it looks like
You got TikTok?
and then
Yeah,
there's
I'm a
like
Aha!
baker, and every single time I tell
Enjoy.
someone that, they ask me what my favorite thing to bake is. Like,
I'm seeing a
no,
tiny,
I'm
tiny
trying
screen window.
to
Alright.
Got you. Follow him.
Oh my god, I can barely move.
sometimes. And then anytime somebody brings it up, what anime do you watch? You were lying.
Madam President.
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Madam President. You know I'm gonna be back tonight, right? Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so laggy.
I told him I can't stay out all night.
I need to go to a quiet corner.
Yuji, when you getting off?
That's my homie.
That's the
That's
bathroom.
my other homie. First, these are my twins.
oh yeah, she's like
lagging.
Position
Make up
440. Ain't
for
gonna
it.
lie, he's been my friend longer than this guy. That's my friend of like 13 years.
I just need to find a place less laggy.
I don't even know that again. That is not even in the loop.
Hello.
I don't
Bro,
know.
you know the cucumber I be putting on this fucking avatar? This is POV right here, bro.
Oh my god! No! Hold on, what
It's
does
like
it
a
say?
good group
It's
of
not letting
friends.
This is in the salad.
Oh wait,
Still too laggy for
yo,
me.
can I work for you? Hold up. Oh no, come back, come
I'm actually
back.
so curious what I look like.
Run from me.
Oh my
You
god.
can't run from me. You can't run from me, boy.
pleasure right here.
I threw a fucking.
Yo, Elliot. I mean,
I threw a world
Slow
record
down.
session. All I just
What's up, Toby?
hold
Yo,
on.
Dear
Was it
Elliot.
doing
this
rhythm?
guy's
No,
yelling to me.
was it doing rhythm? I was the one who noticed it. No one else did.
Oh my god, I'm so laggy. I'll be the receptionist for this.
Not an insult.
Hello, welcome, sir.
how's it going, bro?
Hey, I'm
You
the
doing good?
receptionist here. How can I help you with your stay tonight?
I hope you're doing good today. I'm doing good.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm just trying to find a corner where I'm not
You see my
lagging.
boys over there?
Who's
My
your
boys
boy?
over here.
Oh, the guy floating?
We've been
Yo guys, tell me how school's been. Yo guys, tell me how school's been.
Trying to perpetuate, bro.
I'm graduated.
Oh shit, damn, you guys are old. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I just want to put up a sign to be cool, bro.
I'm so sorry. Look, no, it's because my boy right here,
Get some
handsome,
chops and
my handsome man.
Yeah, expired. They asked me what my favorite thing to bake is. Like,
Alert! Hostiles are headed this way.
chat, are we expired?
Whoa, what is that? Oh my god. Whatever you're doing right now, I'm lagging so much. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Favorite thing to bake is. Like,
Bro, what is
ask me what
this?
my favorite thing to bake is. Like,
I apologize for that.
ask me what my favorite thing to bake is.
Okay, wow, so much quieter. Okay, so about exercising, it is also about uh, the mindset. That is what I wanted to say. Uh, it's the whole process of going through it, maybe being stuck at a certain point, not seeing growth, trying to figure out what you did wrong. And oftentimes, when you're stuck in a problem, it's good to seek counsel. I found a lot of value in going to a coach. I always thought, like, oh, I can do it myself. And it's kind of true. There's some common sense in exercising. Like, we all know what to do, right? We just need to exercise, eat less or eat healthier, and we wouldn't be so fat, or eat more and eat healthier and we wouldn't be so skinny and we'd be more muscular, and work out harder. Those are the basic principles, but to actually get good results, I believe there's a lot of intricacies and details that go into the mindset. And really, throughout the journey of joining Handsome Kai, what we hope to accomplish is to equip people with the knowledge and all these little tips and tricks to improve people's lives. So yeah, we're on a mission to empower people, because oftentimes it's the knowledge alone that can make a big difference in someone's life. If you know something or think about something a different way, oftentimes that would change the way you perceive things, the way you behave, and ultimately it reinforces the results. Sorry, by changing the way you behave, you also get different results, and those results may reinforce the behavior, that generated those results. And that's oftentimes how change starts. It's someone in your surrounding, or even nowadays it's online, that has showed you a different way. Maybe you aren't happy right now in your life. Maybe you're not making the money you want to in your life. Maybe you don't have the ideal body you want. Maybe you don't have the relationship that you want. Someone has been through a similar issue. Now, I want to also preface that you are super unique. Your situation is unique. No matter your challenge, it might be something that's never seen before. So you need to take responsibility for your unique challenges. However, it would be wise to seek outside counsel also. You may know a lot about yourself, and it's certainly encouraged to do some introspection work, but seeking outside counsel can often grant you different perspectives that allow you to see things in a maybe sometimes brighter perspective, maybe in a slightly different perspective, and that can make all the difference sometimes. So I don't want to get too far into this because we're going to dive pretty deeply into it in the future with our content. That is the main type of content I'm aiming to do. So if you are someone who wants to improve as a person and improve your life through useful knowledge and applying that knowledge into your life to benefit, then I highly encourage you to join us on this mission and to, help grow this channel and spread the word. It would be really appreciated. And I just wanted to show you the rest of the room also. Um, beside the serious stuff, I actually really like all the cute and aesthetic things. I love art. I always try to commission artists when I can, and thankfully I also work, so I have some income to help pay for these art and stuff. But my budget's not unlimited. So, but whenever I can, I love supporting artists all around the world. Like, look at this. This is like so unique, and these are things that this is something like this background. Oh wait, you can't see where my mouse is pointing. How do I fix that? I guess I'll share my. How do I share? Okay, let me share my display window. Let me display. Okay, let me share my OBS actually. Window capture OBS. Can I do that? No, I can't. Ah. Okay, let me open the picture separately. Like this, you can see what we're talking about. Like this, you can follow. Oh, I can show you the animated version actually that I commissioned. It's the same thing, but You'll see. Won't be long. I'll show you the all exciting. Oh, it doesn't work. Let me try again. Let me remove this. Let me window capture. This is the background showcase. And it won't be long. I think I'll stay with you another 15 minutes at most. I just want to show you the rest of the room and we can conclude today's stream. And yeah, VRChat, a huge success for trying, but a huge success. If you learn something from your mistakes, it's also a success. Like today, I learned I will not be able to stream with this laptop for sure abroad. Therefore, I need a different equipment. And yeah, I suppose I'm ready to invest into another one. Say goodbyes to all my savings, but all good. Well, not all my savings, no worries. But okay, is it this one? Media player? Yes, it is. Do you see this? Haha. Okay, perfect. Oh, but I need to put my handsome Kai up here. All right, my handsome face. I mean, from sorry, it's not to like brag or anything. I'm just saying it's the name. Um, let me see. Besides, this is commissioned by an artist. I take no credit for this handsomeness. Okay. All right. So I was showing you the left side basically. Here, the quote, the gym, and up here, this is our mascot, if you want to call it, or our little pet, our friend. This is our friendly companion. I decided to name him QB. And it might not be obvious. Let me put it in the chat. QB. And this was supposed to be a statue, but it would have been hard to commission the statue at the same time as the background. So I asked him. The artist chose to just take the art itself and paste them on here and add some funny details like a top hat, like a sophisticated. This is kind of like an Akita dog mixed with like a Ninetales Pokemon, and there's actually a meaning behind it. So I or let me not say I, but our family, we own a dog like this, very similar, and he's adorable. He's just the cutest. Like not to like this is meant to make him sound cute, but he's like dumb cute. Do you know what I mean? Like he always has this innocent puppy love kind of face towards you, and yeah, just so loving. But the reason why I mixed him with a Ninetales, well, first it was just an idea, like oh yeah, I should make something a little more fictional. But then I researched a little bit, and there's actually symbolism behind a nine-tailed fox. It's not only the longevity from the nine tails, but it also symbolizes wisdom. So I was like, wow, this is perfect for what we're trying to do here. If there's any day that I can add a little bit of wisdom into um, my audience and viewers like you, I think I would have done my mission and advanced my mission properly. We really want to share things that are useful and applicable in real life. So yeah, symbolizing wisdom, and this is just the other props is really just to make it more lighthearted, and we always have a youthful and playful spirit within, but this is something I'm trying to work on. I'm not the best, I'd say, at uh, entertaining or being funny, but it is a goal. So one day you're gonna get your laugh. No promises today, but eventually, I believe as we learn and grow and become better, certain things will come. So just yeah, just some foreshadowing. Uh, it's heading towards that direction. Now, Little Wukong. This is a double meaning, and it's the second one is by pure coincidence. But I haven't played the game Black Myth Wukong when it launched, So I played it like a year or two later. Completely missed the hype, which is because at the time I was just busy focused on I was focused on work and other things. But but yeah, this is how our stream started, just by pure luck, timing, coincidence. The first game I stream is Wukong. But another reason why, and the main reason why it is there, is because it symbolizes one of my heroes growing up. As a kid, I admired Wukong. Who didn't love Wukong growing up? I don't know if people still watch Wukong nowadays. It's it's something that was hugely part of my childhood, and I think it's quite meaningful. Like, there's a lot of lessons. This is a mythical character that is so popular across the Asian culture, and yeah, I think it's just there's a reason why it's so popular. It's like this archetype of someone who doesn't like to follow rules, someone who is smart, clever, and rejects being subjected to these strict rules. And of course, he gets into trouble for that. He gets punished by Buddha himself. And that also shows a great lesson that pure recklessness and chaos will have consequences. Nonetheless, it is still such an appealing character. And yeah, when I was younger, I was just like swinging sticks around and just I wanted to be Wukong basically, you know. And I love how funny and mischievous he was. So in a way, I'm not sure if it's part of my personality naturally, or maybe I adopted some of that from Wukong actually. Growing up, I was always a little bit of a naughty kid. Not like in an annoying or super rude way. It's just like I was doing like silly things that that probably normal kids, like more quiet and gentle kids wouldn't do. But good that I got that out of my system, because I think having grown up now, I'm a lot more calm and gentle and relaxed and a little naughty, but not that much, you know? So, yeah, this is a gaming setup besides it. And then the books we talked about, always be learning. It doesn't, the book is symbolic to it. It doesn't have to be, a physical book itself. If you're learning through other means like video, audiobook, etc., or talking to people in real life and asking for advice, that is pretty good too. I've certainly done a lot of that in my life, and yeah, gained a lot of different perspectives. It's pretty interesting. Mm, yeah, from traveling to being in an Uber ride to being in a room full of people that are vastly different than me and quite uncomfortable sometimes. But that's how you learn and grow. Staying in these situations and just pushing through it. A lot of it is just being there and absorbing it all in, and eventually it hits you. You kind of get it, and you understand. The more you learn and the more comprehensive your view of things. And now I'm speaking so abstract, but you're going to see in more details in the future what I mean. Um, Concrete examples is like networking, for example. In the business world, um, I didn't know how to network. Again, today's stream was about an introvert going into VR chat. It is not the best. I mean, it's better than probably socializing. And many people feel comfortable, interestingly, socializing online rather than going out and meeting people. And I think there's a good reason for that. There's a character that can represent us online. We don't have to, you know, show too much. But actually, I don't understand it fully, so I won't speak too much about it. All I know is that any social situation can be a little bit anxiety producing, at least for me. I I'm always a little bit nervous. There's no, even if I look comfortable or confident or whatever, deep inside there is always a little bit at least of that. And that's okay. I think by acknowledging it and, pointing out the pink elephant in the room, it helps you reduce that anxiety. So what were we talking about? There's gonna be a lot of these where I'm talking about something and then I get distracted by another topic and I can't come back. I can't figure out what I was talking about right before that. Well, I know it was something about socializing and the lesson to, and how ironic it was that today's lesson is about uh, you know, an introvert being in VR chat. But yeah, I guess the lesson would be oh, networking probably. It's very similar in the sense like you even if you're not too comfortable, eventually you get it's like conditioning a little bit. It's backed by science. Like if you're just exposed to the same stimulus over and over again, you get habituated. So your discomfort or fear, you vanquish it by being exposed to it, and that's actually a thing. It's called exposure therapy. If you're scared of something, try in your capacity to get exposed to it at least a little bit, no matter how small. If you just expose yourself to the thing that you fear, generally you'll get accustomed to it and your fear will reduce over time. So I think it's pretty interesting to do things that are uncomfortable because that's where the growth happens generally. You might feel discomfort at first, but over time, when you process that discomfort and what you learn from it and the impression of your subconscious image of yourself having been through that situation and vividly picturing yourself having been through that already and you came out fine, unscathed, that gives you a lot of confidence. All right, manipulative. Oh my gosh, not read this out loud. Thank you for your comment, but this is not a great name. Can you guys see this? Let me drag this into the. Oh no, I need to share my screen to see it. All right, you can watch chat if you're curious what the name is. Let us not point it out too much to Twitch so they don't find out about this. Is this allowed as a name? Anyway, I got distracted. So, and blessed and grateful and love. Of course, these signs, these are super important things. And I think it's always important to remind ourselves, no matter how bad our day is going. Now, this is a little cynical, but someone else, someone else's day is can always be worse. You know, it's I'm not sure if cynical is the right word. Maybe satirical. You know, you're humoring yourself with the fact that someone else's life is in a worse state than yours in relative comparison, so you feel better. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing to do, and it isn't necessarily mean. It's just sometimes it's necessary, you know, to gain perspective because maybe in North America, at least, life is pretty good, you know, in general times. There's a lot of things that are going on with the pressures from capitalism, but other than that, once you get your life mostly under control, there's there it could be a lot worse, you know? Like if you think about the average income that people earn around the globe. Actually, I didn't do my research, so I apologize for that. I'm so sorry, but I'm pretty sure it's not more than like say like $20,000 a year, like dollars. So I don't know, like that might be very 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 generous actually as an estimate. I heard something like maybe even a couple thousand or a couple hundred. But like think about that. In your city, if the average living expense is a certain amount and in another part of the world that's like their lifetime stipend or something, you know? It's it really shows like wow, like actually what do we really need to survive? Um and how come it's so vastly different from one part of the world to another? And that's not to minimize your life. Like you don't it's not to reduce the your ambition to like oh actually I don't need them. I just need dot dot dot. That is not the point and the goal of that the exercise. It's more to gain gratitude. You can still go after great and big things because the truth of the matter is the situations are different. You are in a fortunate situation right now. You are in a place of the world where abundance is possible, and a lot of the basic necessities and security are covered. So, and yeah, if you're listening to that, probably you are part of that audience that is part of that world. And yeah, I think it's really hard to feel grateful when you don't have a baseline comparison. Like sometimes life is too good, and where our perspective narrows down to our problems in our life and ahead of us. But when we start thinking about other people and listen to the experience of other people and um, their subjective stories of what they've been through and what hardships they've been through, that is what gives you sanity and peace of mind, because you're like, okay, I'm not the only one going through all these struggles. And I think that's helped a lot in my life. I haven't always felt very happy all the time, and I don't think I picked up on uh, that obviously. I think it took other people to show me that, oh, actually, I'm not as happy as I could be. And yeah, it really led me to do more introspection. Um, Now, I have two instances where that happened. One of them was on a date, and another one was my own mother. And now, I want to use that word delicately and carefully because I was not, but my mom had said it was as if and like if I was depressed. So maybe I was showing certain signs or certain like just a unhappy mood, but that there's no need to worry. It wasn't the case or anything that I was in a clinically concerning state, but it was just general unhappiness or dissatisfaction, either with life, with results, with certain things, there's certain things I wanted in my life that I felt I didn't get and couldn't get either there and then, or like I didn't believe I could get. So that is pain, and I think it's okay to feel those things and it's normal to feel those things, but as we go through it, we're able to solve them. And I think that's the important thing. We need to face those things courageously and put aside our ego and really think about, yeah, right now I'm just so vulnerable. I have these things that are not going well in my life. And if it takes time to, dwell in it a little bit and, grieve and uh, boost your mood, maybe you really want to, just do the things that will soothe you at the time. I think that's okay. And but the thing to keep in mind is like, what's the solution? And oftentimes, if we just think about it, it may not be enough. That is when outside counsel is critical. Nowadays, we have ChatGPT and AI. It can help us process a lot of things and a lot of our emotions. Now, at first I thought I was the only one doing that, but a lot of people that I've talked to, actually, I hear them say something similar along the lines of, uh, ChatGPT is my friend or AI is my friend, and I'm talking to it. I can share my problems with it. It helps me process it. It's so emotionally attuned and understanding and intelligent emotionally, and yeah, just so many things, right? So that is one avenue. But another things is the people around you that you trust and love and who love you. And of course, there's always therapy. But generally, seeking outside counsel is great because um, you gain perspective that you otherwise would not have, that really helps you process that thing. So yeah, that'd be the uh, looking back, that's been what I've done, and it's been really helpful, and that'd be what I would recommend to others too. mm, so yeah, but those are all lessons. This is not the only thing. there's there's a lot of lessons, about happiness and other things that we'll cover in the future. For now, this is just a brief general overview, so we won't belabor it. And this poster here, it's supposed to symbolize fantasy and RPG. It's just part of my interest. So you can expect a lot of these games in the future, more about like role playing, exploring beautiful, fantastical worlds, and yeah, slaying dragons, going on a quest, saving princess, or maybe it doesn't involve a princess, but you know, accomplishing something and having a story. And one of the games that I'm actually most excited about that is coming up is Borderlands 4. So stay tuned for that. I'll be streaming a lot of that in the upcoming, well, not weeks, but when it'll be out, I think next month. I am so excited. You cannot comprehend how excited I am because Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games. Now, it may seem childish, but I felt like it was just right. It was like it felt comfortable. There was comedy there, and the worlds to explore are amazing, and the stories and the characters are just so interesting. So yeah, I'm just super excited. The third Borderlands wasn't that great. The first one, well, it was the prototype, so it's understandable. But the third one was still good. Let me say that it was still good, but it could have been great, especially for the story. So the fourth one, we have high hopes. They've gotten a lot of pushback on the third. Um, yeah, stay tuned for the Borderlands 4. Other than that, you have little relics, RPG relics, all related to that. And here, actually, oh, I didn't press play for you. I'm so sorry. Look at this little dolphin here. Let me loop it. All right. Now, besides that, there's also a little card here. It's a Joker card. That's relating back to the playful theme of the room and of the brand actually. And also here just some, other casual work. Even when I'm relaxing, on a sofa or something, generally I like to do something productive. So yeah, these are things that I would not stop doing and think about. So if you enjoy these kind of things, productivity and growth and fun and video games, of course, then this is the right channel for you. Like follow now. This is good for you. And so now sitting here, I would do like some productive work. Like I wouldn't even call it work. It could be hobby. Like if you sometimes I really enjoy journaling and to process thoughts and making things be super clear. Sometimes it takes a lot of processing before you can get to a clear answer and a clear thought or um, discovering something that you didn't know before without having gone through the written process because we have a lot of things that are buried in our unconscious or subconscious and talking to others can help bring it out but also journaling yourself, writing out your thoughts, and then putting everything down on paper, it really helps because it helps you retain also what you thought about before, um, and to review it from a third person perspective. Like suppose you didn't know who wrote this and you're reading it, what would be your thought and feeling and impression on that? Excuse me. And finally we come to this. Actually no, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what this bench is, but it seems like also a resting bench. Maybe a foot rest, but I don't think so. It's positioned here. The artist did a fantastic job. I really am so happy about this graphic. You're gonna see more of this. This is gonna be basically my be right back screen. I'm hoping to add like some text somewhere to show that this is a be right back. Maybe I'll add it here on the sofa. I'll put a little my little character maybe in a chibi form and then with a sign like be right back or something. Or oh yeah, a little poster or some like a yeah. Anyway, this is the design process. Sometimes I have random ideas and I'm just like, oh yeah, let me find an artist to do it for me. That'd be so cool. And then I look at my budget. I'm like, oof, I'm a little over already by like $1,000. What should I do? So anyway, we'll see. And then on this little bench is actually a book. If you can find out what this book is by the cover or by what's written, can you read this? Oh, you can read a little bit. the intention was for it to be readable. But if you know what this book is, let me know. I will find a way to reward you. Um, I guess I don't have subs yet, but you are the first to get free subs if you can guess what this book is. Now, this only applies to for the first 5 people who let me know. And now this is random. Like I just came up with this on the spot. But so, how should you let me know? I guess the only way, send me an email. So handsomekaigg@gmail.com. All right, you get free emotes for life. The first four I created, and the other ones we'll see. But you get 4 free emotes for life if you can tell me what this book is. It's not gonna be easy, so I don't expect a lot of people to get it. But the first five, and this is a very important book. And to give a hint, it's somewhat related to the quote on the left. All right. And that's about it. And this is a towel, I guess, maybe for the gym to relax or something. And some plants for health, you know. Keeping some plants around the house can be good for it's mutually beneficial. You release some CO2 for them and they give you some oxygen back. It's fantastic. And the whole underwater theme, the idea is not for the huge dolphin to ram his head in and then flood my whole apartment. That was not the reason why. But underwater is just such a calm and meditative space in the sense like no one can bother you down there. If you have an isolated room underwater, imagine that. That'd be crazy. It's like living on yourself but 10x. You have your not only your own privacy. I mean, you're not it's not that private because the fish see you all the time, but it's private from the humans. And now this can be only an introvert's dream, right? No way people dream about this, but living underwater, that could be pretty cool. And just aesthetically, it's so pretty. I'm so grateful for the artist who did this art. So cool. If you want to commission some kind of background art, and he doesn't even does it animated, check him out on Fiverr. He's on Fiverr. So just to make sure, I send his name in the chat again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope this was useful to you in certain ways. We hope to bring you a lot of useful content in the future. Please, 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 if you enjoyed this, consider following us. We would highly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.